Get ready for action, because the New York Mets are facing a massive challenge against the Chicago Cubs today. The Mets are fighting to break a brutal 10-game losing streak, and we are breaking down every prediction and every odd for this crucial matchup. We look at the starting pitcher Tobias Myers and the tough path ahead for the New York staff as they battle the Cubs' formidable offense. This is the game everyone is watching, and you need to know what's coming next.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
The tension is palpable as the Chicago Cubs look to seize control and secure another victory in this series. We dive deep into the recent performance of the Cubs, including their recent home run power, and how they are positioned in the NL Central standings. We examine the matchup featuring Cubs starter Javier Assad, who comes into this contest with a challenging 1-1 record and an 8.1 ERA, setting the stage for a potential turning point for the Cubs. But the baseball world isn't stopping there, because the action is about to take a major detour. We have breaking news that the Syracuse Mets game against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders has been officially postponed due to severe inclement weather. Find out exactly when this game is being rescheduled for, and learn how fans can redeem their tickets for future Syracuse Mets home games. This is important info for all the fans. And finally, we look at the latest updates shaking up the Mets roster and the overall season outlook. We cover the news that Jorge Polanco has been placed on the injured list, and Tobias Myers is starting in place of David Peterson amidst the ongoing slump. Plus, we look at the broader season trends, including the incredible performance of Shohei Ohtani and what this all means for the future of the New York Mets. Don't miss out. Stay with us for the rest of the coverage. The New York Mets face a challenging afternoon as they attempt to halt a 10-game losing streak against the Chicago Cubs. Analysts suggest the Mets will need to rely heavily on their bullpen, as starter Tobias Myers has limited his appearances this season. Facing a Cubs team that has averaged 8.5 runs per game over their last 6 contests, experts are pessimistic about the Mets' ability to secure a victory. The New York offense has struggled significantly, accumulating 18 runs in their losing streak and having been shut out 3 times. This suggests a low-scoring game is anticipated, with the Mets having hit the under in 4 of their last 6 outings. Conversely, the Cubs have a strong recent record, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Betting lines reflect this sentiment, with the moneyline favoring the Cubs at -135. The game is set to be played at Wrigley Field in Chicago on Sunday, April 19, 2026, with David Peterson pitching for the Mets and Javier Assad for the Cubs. The Chicago Cubs look to maintain their momentum on Sunday as they face the New York Mets in a crucial matchup. The Cubs enter the contest with a strong record, having secured their 5th consecutive win. This follows a successful run earlier in the week, including victories against the Philadelphia Phillies and their own opening games against the Mets. On Saturday, the Cubs secured a win with home runs from Ian Happ and Carson Kelly, pushing their season record to 11-9. Currently positioned in last place in the NL Central, the Cubs are closely trailing the first-place Cincinnati Reds by just a game and a half. For the Sunday showdown, the Cubs will bring Javier Assad to the mound, entering the game with a 1-1 record and an 8.1 ERA. The New York Mets, meanwhile, are focused on breaking a 10-game losing streak. They will be fielding David Peterson, who is still seeking his first victory of the season, coming into this game with a 0-3 record and a 6.41 ERA. Peterson has struggled in his recent starts, allowing 15 combined runs in his last 3 outings. The Mets currently sit in last place in the NL East, standing a game and a half behind the Phillies, who occupy 4th place in the division. The contest is scheduled for Sunday, April 19, 2026, at 2:20 p.m. ET at Wrigley Field. Fans looking to watch the action can tune in via Sportsnet NY or MLB TV, Chicago Cubs. Additionally, streaming options are available on Fubo, which allows viewers to watch the New York Mets versus Chicago Cubs game live. Regional restrictions may apply. The scheduled Sunday afternoon matchup between the Syracuse Mets and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders has been postponed due to inclement weather conditions. The contest has been rescheduled as part of a single-admission doubleheader set for Wednesday, June 3. The first game is slated to begin at 4:05 p.m., with the second game starting approximately 40 minutes later. Fans holding tickets for the postponed game will have the option to attend both contests, as gates will open at 3:30 p.m. Fans with tickets for today's game can redeem them for any other Syracuse Mets home game at NBT Bank Stadium for 1 calendar year from April 19, 2026. Ticket redemption is available at the Syracuse Mets ticket office or by calling 315-474-7833, subject to availability. Looking ahead, the Syracuse Mets will return home on Tuesday, April 28, to commence a 6-game series against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. The first pitch for that series is scheduled for 6:35 p.m., with gates opening at 5:30 p.m. The New York Mets are grappling with a significant slump, falling to the Cubs 4-2 to extend their losing streak to 10 games. The game featured an early solo home run by Mark Vientos, but was ultimately decided in the 6th inning when Brooks Raley brought in Moises Ballesteros, who hit a 3-run homer, putting the Mets behind. Injuries have also impacted the team, with Jorge Polanco placed on the injured list due to a right wrist contusion, prompting the recall of catcher Hayden Senger from AAA Syracuse. Furthermore, Tobias Myers is slated to start today in place of David Peterson, while Kodai Senga remains in the rotation. Analysts are examining the team's collective offensive struggles, with Jay Jaff looking into the underlying issues, noting that this poor start to the 2026 season raises concerns for future performance. In other MLB news, the Atlanta Braves secured a 3-1 victory over the Phillies, improving their standing to an NL East best record of 14-7, while the Phillies slipped to 8-12. JT Realmuto was removed from the game due to lower back tightness, though Zach Wheeler is set for another rehab start before returning to the rotation. The Phillies also made roster adjustments, placing closer Joan Duran on the injured list and recalling Seth Johnson to replace him. Meanwhile, the Nationals lost to the Giants 7-6 in 12 innings, with Matt Chapman providing the go-ahead RBI. The Marlins suffered a 5-2 loss to the Brewers, but Kyle Stowers is set to be activated from the injured list for his season debut. On the Dodgers side, Shohei Ohtani extended his on-base streak to 50 games, tying for the third-longest streak in franchise history. For the Mets, beat writers point to the continued dominance of Nolan McLean as a positive development. The team's resilience is being questioned, with commentary suggesting that historical performance benchmarks, such as the 2005 Mets' 7 home runs against the Phillies, serve as a benchmark for potential turnaround.